What's up, everybody? It's the Tabletop Tyrant, and today I want to kind of talk about Karl Kopinski. For most of you that know, he does a lot of Warhammer art and art that's not Warhammer related. He's a fantastic artist. Some of the art that I know him for would be the Cathay artwork, some Tomb King's artwork, and then the Death Guard Plague Marine artwork. Some of you might recognize some of these pieces like I do, and the reason why I'm bringing up Karl Kopinski, not because he's a fantastic artist, he is, but also because he has recently had a stroke and started a GoFundMe. So really unique guy. Again, he says he suffered a stroke about 3 weeks ago, and he's been battling melanoma for quite some time, which is a rare form of blood cancer. I figured I would also just get the word out there to any of you that are unaware of this situation like I was. So if you find this helpful, or you find that you got a couple bucks to spare, maybe try donating to Karl Kopinski and help him on his road to recovery, because he is unable to work due to his left arm not working so well afterwards. So I wanted to kind of throw this in the beginning. Now we're going to go into the Warhammer community things. Link in the description for the GoFundMe. Thank you all very much for your time. Peace. What's up, everybody? It's the Tabletop Tyrant, and today we're here to talk about Cathay, Wood Elves, Beastmen, and I believe some of the new White Lords and High Elves coming on pre-order next week. So let's get into it. So it's been a hot minute. It's been spring break. Kids are out of school. I had VA appointments back and forth nonstop this last week. So I'm able to finally sit down and make this video. And I didn't want to make some half-baked attempt where I just make some points everyone else made. Cathay is here. Now, I believe everyone, I was wrong. I made the mistake of saying it wouldn't be Cathay. But to be fair, I'm actually pretty happy that I was wrong about it. I think it's going to be cool seeing what they introduce here. It's not an army, personally, that I would play. I don't really play them in Total War. The aesthetic's not up my alley. I'm a Chaos, Orcs, Vampire Counts kind of guy. And this just does not strike me as something I would collect, but I see the validity in why someone else would want to. So the battalion box, it says, is going to be coming with 50 plastic miniatures, 30 Jade Warriors, in which you can break up into 3 groups of 10, 2 units of 15, and they're supported by 10 Jade Lancers. I'm guessing you could probably do the same thing. Well, they have it here, 2 groups of 5, and then it looks like you're getting a cannon and a rocket battery. Pretty freaking sweet. I wonder who here is going to get the battalion box. What are you most excited for in it? I think if I was to get anything, I would paint the artillery and probably just sell them. But I would paint them because they look cool. The dragon head is awesome. Now let's kind of look at it. The Jade Warrior's really unique. Looks like we get a couple weapon options. We got a spear, shield, probably going to be how everyone runs it. Or looks like they're two-handing the spear, which I'm wondering if they're going to be able to run that as a certain way of like a halberd or something. And it doesn't look like a spear actually has hooks on it. Now, if there is a specific nomenclature what this weapon's called, let me know. I'm ignorant to this type of weapon, but it might have like the same effect as a halberdier, and this looks like spear and shield. So if you want to get that rank bonus, go with the spear. You want to get that extra strength, I'm guessing, go with this. And let me see, hand weapon shields or halberds. Yeah, so they're halberds, elegant crest blades. Nice. Exceptional warriors recruited from the Jav, swift heavy cavalry. This is nice. Are trained to fight within the narrow alleyways, bridges, and tunnels of their home kingdom. They are thus terrifying when let loose in the open field with their long Cathayan lances. So lances, +2 on the strength, some AP on the charge, or +2 strength, AP. All this is benefits on the charge. Looking really sweet. Cannon. I don't think we need to talk about grand cannons. They're pretty freaking dope. Now, the biggest thing, okay, yeah, the Celestial Dragons, very cool. I think it's going to be interesting, again, watching what the community can do to paint these. It looks like a 50 by 75 rectangle base, by the way, so that's dope. BSB, the banner is looking crazy. That is a cool looking banner. I dig it. And the horse guy is awesome. So I wonder if you can actually put the banner on the horse too, if it's interchangeable like the Orcs and Goblins one is. The Sky Lantern is going to be unique. I'm wondering how it's going to work. I have not played Total War, and if you had, how does the Sky Lantern work if it's in there? Let me know. Looks pretty sweet. Artillery with instructions to fire without line of sight. Oh, yeah, so it's like a bombardier maybe. Oh, so they throw. Okay, yeah. So if it's in Total War and you guys have used it, let me know. It looks like it's kind of like he dropped bombs out of it. Then maybe that's what those are. The Cathay Sentinel. These things are freaking sweet. Now, I want to see how they, again, get painted because they look fantastic. The yellow that they did for the gems is such a beautiful yellow. I think there's more that can be done with it painting-wise, but again, it is supposed to be like a stone statue or like a terracotta warrior, I guess, and I think they knocked it out of the park. Now, this is a big base. I for some reason, I think it looks like a big 150 by 100 mil rectangle, but I am not sure about that. You'll have to let me know. And then it's getting topped off with an arcane journal and a named character, and I'm guessing she can turn into the Storm Dragon like in the game. So that'll be very, very unique. Now, I wonder, and I've seen some people talk about it, if the power creep is going to be crazy, if these guys are going to be completely like just hooked up and crazy and decked out to the nines and are going to just take the entire scene by storm because their rules are going to be so good. Now, they did make that mistake with the Leagues of Votann, but I think that was kind of like, and I could be wrong, I don't keep up on 40k, I'm mostly a heresy kind of guy, or like old 40k, but I'm pretty sure like after Leagues of Votann, it seems like they kind of dialed it back, and I only say that because when the Dark Angel players got their codex released, they seemed a little bit upset that they didn't get all the buffs that they thought they were going to get. So with that aside, it looks really sweet. If you're going to collect this range, what are you most excited for? How are you going to collect it? How many points are you going to collect it? Are you going to do big grand armies, or are you going to keep them kind of small and to the minimum? Let me know down below. Now, defend or defile. The Wood Elves and Beastmen, there's not much to be said. If you've been in the hobby for a while, all the returning sculpts have come back. There's a couple things. They kept it all plastic. I was really fingers crossed hoping for a plastic Tusker Gore Chariot that they would have brought back, but I guess not. The Beastman Brayherd art, it's cool. It's in line with all the other arcane journals we've been getting. Like I said previously, we're getting Grashak or whatever his name was from Age of Sigmar. Looks like they just made him into a regular chieftain. Ungors can be built with spears, shields, hand weapons, shields, or bows. And the Gores, they can take additional hand weapon, shield. Now, these are really unique because they're both skirmisher units, and I haven't dived into the Beastmen a whole lot on the channel yet, mostly because I kind of wanted to wait till their Arcane Journal, because I didn't really think they were much to talk about till they get their Arcane Journal. And with skirmishers and me not using them very much, I don't really have like a lot of strategy I could impose or say, or I just had nothing to contribute. There's probably a Beastman player with a channel that hit this army right on the head, and I wouldn't have done it justice. Bestigors, fantastic. I love these models. Have some. You got the Minotaurs, again, painted freaking dope. Island of Crete, I've always liked the Minotaurs. The Gorgon and the Cygor still has his hatred of magic users, which I think is cool with his Ghost Sight special rule. And then the Gorgon's just vicious as it comes. And this will be your returning plastic. Now we go into resin, and one thing I will say, if you have been holding off somehow or you haven't bought any of the new stuff, anything that was Citadel Finecast has gotten updated to Forge World resin. I did this with the Tomb King Screaming Skull catapults and the Hell Cannon, and it's a really good quality. You get less of the imperfections than you would with Citadel Finecast, but again, it does suck to know that we're just getting it back in resin still and not like a new plastic version. But that is what it is. Either you love the old models or you hate them. Am I right? The Doom Bull has and will forever reign in my soul as a number one freaking monster. I've always loved the look of it. I think he's cool. I'm probably just going to paint one. So it's the Praeton, Keg, and Crow. I'm sure you're excited to see this come back. If you guys haven't, Keg and Crow's a YouTuber, but he's also a hardcore old world enthusiast, and he has been telling me about this model coming back, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. The Jabbersize, also, I guess I should mention, this used to be part of the Monsters Arcanum, and it's a really unique cross between, I believe, an elk and it looks like a wyvern ring, but I can't really say. I thought it was eagle wings in the actual lore of it, but I may have messed it up. The Jabber Scythe, thing's pretty cool. Now that it's coming back, hopefully in Forge World resin, it'll have less problems when you're building it, but we'll see. It's a cool model. It's a monstrosity. People in Total War were wanting this to come out with Beastmen for a long time, and now we're getting it in resin. The Cockatrice, another cool model, old school. We've all seen this before. And then we're getting all the returning metal. Now, I really like the Beastman range. I think it's kind of cool. The BSB is sweet. He came in that old battalion box from back in the day. And one thing, I have Goros Warhoof, but I've never seen this hero before, this HQ choice for the Centigores. So it's really cool. I'm going to be doing up Goros once I get my camera set up and some more light. But yeah, it's looking pretty nice. I like it. And then boo, boo. You should have been updated to plastic, boo. But anyways, yeah, I would have liked to see this become plastic. I hate building that chariot. I hate painting it. I find that it chips. Even if you transport it freaking super cautiously and preserve it, you'll still find some chippage on those horns or on the side of the wood. And nothing just annoys me than seeing a little bit of the paint wear off on the metal and seeing the metal there and having to touch it up. The Wood Elves, it's the Wood Elves, the same models. We haven't seen it. We didn't get the new treatment from Age of Sigmar. We got the old pewter ones back, and it suffers from the same thing with chipping. The models, again, beautiful, super sweet, love them. You can't go wrong. The color palettes they use were great. The freehand on the cloak is dope. The people, where's the Elk Riders? These were some of my favorite models to look at. I never got down on Wood Elves. They're not my aesthetic, but they're cool, and I can respect them for what they are. Orion, I believe this model is freaking ancient. It's returning the metal. Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, it's always a shame to see the returning metal. I kind of personally... Small pipes. It's always a shame to see it kind of returning the metal. I wish we would have had resin or something. I just hate the chipping. I don't know. It's weird. Some people prefer metal. I prefer resin. It's just a preference thing. Yeah, the branch witch here. Boom, boom. I didn't think... Yeah, that's plastic, I thought. But I guess it's metal now. You can always just get the Age of Sigmar one and throw it on a square, I guess, if you want to keep it plastic. And then the Tree Man. Yeah, I don't know why. The Beast Pack is a set of 12 miniatures first released in 1987 who have long lurked in the deepest thicket of the old world. These are 4 elves and their accompanying beasts who have been hidden in the forest so long they've escaped photography for now. Yeah, it should have gone back to 1987 and stayed forgotten. I'm just kidding. If you guys like it, let me know. So looking up here, we got this Sunday preview. I believe this stuff goes on pre-order either this week or maybe next. I'm not 100% sure. But you're getting your Soulblight Gravelord starter set, 5 Black Knights, some White Lords, some Super White Lords, and a boss. They're probably not even Super White Lords. It's the same thing. But I don't know. I find these sets are just hard and expensive to justify. At least you're getting more models than the Goblin one. For those that bought that, but it's cool, but I still prefer the old school White King aesthetic, and that's one thing I think I wish I would have been able to get my hands on the old Vampire Counts Skeleton Warriors, but I'll probably just print some from Avatars of War. I like their Vampire Counts look. Yeah, interesting, cool, nice. The book, pretty cool. I have to cover Age of Sigmar lore one of these days and just see where it's at nowadays. I haven't read it since first edition, and I wasn't like the most impressed with it, but I'm open to seeing if it got better. High Elf Nobles, Plastics, Phoenix Guard, freaking Spearmen, the Shadow Warriors. Where's Aleth Anar? Am I right? Yeah, they didn't drop Aleth Anar, did they? Fulgrim returns. That face has seen better days. And yeah, Soulblight Gravelord, some books. Heretic Astartes, if you guys are like me and you love chaos, there's a short subscription for some short stories. I personally don't get down on these. I stick with authors that I kind of know. I'm one of those people. I'm not open to change, but that's just me at the end of the day. So anyways, guys, I just want to talk a little bit about the stuff we missed. I'm not going to dive into, okay, you know what? I will dive into the 40K. I didn't want to, but I was a little bit butthurt with the 40K stuff that was dropped, and also sad. So I am doing World Eaters. I'm a freaking huge proponent of the World Eaters. I love them. And this was just not it for me, Chief. I mean, if you like the 8-bound, where they have 8 bloodletters, they just kind of like threw this dude on crack, and he has a bloodthirster in his soul because he's so freaking edgy. But I mean, it's like, look, I didn't personally want... I know people are like, Juggernaut Cavalry, F that. We should have got our Khorne Berserkers on bikes, I think that would have been a great throwback to the old 3.5 Army book. I think it would have been freaking sweet. Something I personally would have bought to use. And this is just not doing anything for me. They took the old Possessed Arm from the Chaos Space Marine, gave it an 8-bound, upscaled it in CAD, and then bam! You can do this yourself if you scan the file. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. The artwork, it's okay. The helmet's a little derp on the World Eaters book. Am I going to get it? I want to read what's in it, so I'm probably going to grab it, but I will not be grabbing whatever this is and getting down on that. Death Guard, again, another army I love to play. I use a Death Guard Heresy. 40K, where you at? It's my boys. I'm currently doing some shorts on them. Again, I took a break because of spring break. This dude's okay. I hate the backpack. Love the sword. Looks like Slave Knight Gale from Dark Souls, which I thought was sweet, and I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what I can do with them. I am going to get rid of that ridiculous backpack, though, and do something different with it, or at least change it up or make my own. I don't know. I might draft one up and print it and do something different. These... My daughter and I were going through the previews, and her reaction was how I felt on the inside. And she went, ugh, I'm freaking with you, dude. This is probably pretty boo-boo. I don't know if it's the colors, like the Wraithbone. Maybe I would have stayed away from that like Wraithbone Eldar looking color and done this blue and then did these like a gold and silver and just kind of went different. I don't know. I don't like the way that they painted them. Maybe in the back looks so like basic. I don't know. You know, they had the Forge World one, and I'm probably would, if I ever was to bring my 1,000 Suns and dust them off, I would probably go to the old Forge World ones and just get those and use them, but I wouldn't get these. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys like this look? Is this doing it for you? It's not doing it for me. The book though, best art, I think, best cover. Between that and Typhon, I think is cool, or Typhus, I should say. But yeah, again, kind of cool. You kind of see how they buy the limited edition. I don't buy the limited stuff. I'm too cheap to do that, so not up my alley. But yeah, so yuck, man, freaking yuck. Another thing we saw, we're going back to Armageddon, or Harmagito, or however you want to say it. It's cool. Angron, Armageddon, back in the old days. 3rd edition campaign book for Gaskell Thraka. Grey Knights are back. If you listen to that horrible Angron Red Angel book, that book was A, 2-pack of ass, and B, just trash. But it focuses on the Grey Knights, more so than Angron. I think Angron shows up at the end, and spoilers, it's a pretty garbage book. But if you like garbage and you want to consume anything and praise it for its worth, read Angron Red Angel. You'll get more Grey Knights than the World Eaters. So I think Slaanesh had more of an appearance in that book than the freaking Angron did, dude. I don't know. And then this thing is just an atrocity. I hate it. You know, Ripley, I think, killed it best in Aliens with her mech suit. And these guys did not need the baby carrier on steroids. It's okay. The book is cool. I like the book. But the baby carrier, they could have let that die out and just encase him in a giant Redemptor, a Dreadnought, or whatever they call the Primaris ones these days. But while I'm here, Space Marine 3 is getting an update. Sweet. That's awesome. We all love it. Oh, yes, Space Wolves. All right. I feel like in that war that the 1,000 Suns and Space Wolves are fighting, someone had to draw straws, and the person that drew the shortest straw got the 1,000 Suns and just kind of gave him those robots. But the Space Wolves got some really beautiful minis. I love the aesthetic. It's great. The head, the gems, the torsos, the pelts, all the stuff they've been needing since the Primaris, I think, dropped. And it's going to look really nice. I'm happy for Space Wolf players. They got some much needed love. And like I said, there's not much I can say bad about it. They got a range update. They got their own models. That's great. You know, and they needed this. I think that the HQ choices are great. The heads that you can do and use these on, I would love to probably take some of these noggins and throw them on Chaos Marines and Chaos Space Marines and do my own things out of them. You know, I think I would really look forward to that. Even if you did the Heresy and you got that Praetor with the Great Axe, you could take that head, throw it on them, and it would look great for Space Wolves. You could use these bits like universally, and I think that's what's really freaking awesome about it, is just what you can get out of these bits. And yeah, really awesome. The range is dope. The freaking Codex looks sweet. They got the most love. Definitely more than the World Eaters and the 1,000 Suns. And I don't know, like I said, World Eaters have a lot going for them. There's so much you can do with the range. A lot of people are like, bring the Blood Slaughter back. If they don't want to bring the Blood Slaughter back, we should get access to the Venom Crawler and give it something for the Mark of Khorne. I think that's something that we could have. It's plastic. Just give us the Venom Crawler. Give us access to Obliterators maybe for some shooting. If they don't want to give it to the models or dedicate specific models, just give us a little bit more access to that stuff. Now, one thing I will say is I went through a little bit of the Emperor's Children book, and they have access to the demons in there. So with the Chaos factions coming out for 40k, you're probably going to get access to the demons. If you're like me, you're an old fart, you stick to 4th edition or 3rd edition or whatever edition you stick to, the models, you can find a use for probably none of the use. But anyways, that's all. Maybe a chaos spawn. Freaking of Khorne. Anyways, that's all for me. I wanted to just say thank you for your time. Thank you for tolerating me. I have run my mouth for 20 minutes too long. Everybody, until next time, peace.